Okay, this is not a review of a current film. It's a couple of years old. And I suppose this film almost deserves to be in WTF Cinema, but with WTF Cinema, I'm very picky about trying to make sure I have a movie that is consistently screwed up, so that you have this entire review with commentary as opposed to just leading up to one big moment. Uh, this film, it's hard to take apart bit by bit and deconstruct it like I normally do with WTF Cinema. So I would just like to talk to you for a moment about a movie called Control, Alt, Delete. You can get it on Netflix. It's there. The reasons I see various movies are myriad and obscure, sometimes even to me. In this case, and this will just give you a flavor of one of the thousands of reasons I will pick a movie that I've never heard of and decide to watch it. I have a bit of a fanboy crush on an actress named Laura Bertram. She's a Canadian actress who has done almost nothing stateside. In fact, the best chance you have of recognizing her is she played the purple chick, Trans Gemini, in Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. A sci-fi series that most people didn't watch, and she was a main character, and that's the biggest claim to fame I've got for her. She was in a couple of episodes of a Canadian TV show called Robson Arms. But I love the girl. She's a decent actress, and I love looking at her. So I went to go find what's a movie I can see her in. I just want to see her in a movie. And I came across Control Alt Delete. Now, she plays a very minor part. So minor, in fact, that it's not even a part of what I'm going to talk about for the rest. But it's just amazing how these things lead me to movies like this. Control Alt Delete is about a computer programmer who is working to fight the Y2K bug. He works for a company. His job is to code and prevent civilization from falling apart when the clocks turn over to 2000, like we know almost happened. Do you remember New Year's Eve, 1999? Oh my God. Rioting in the streets, man feasting on man. It's amazing we were able to rebuild civilizations quite as quickly as we did. The weird part about Control Alt Delete is the entire film. The man starts having sexual issues with his girlfriend, Laura Bertram, who leaves him shortly thereafter. We see that he's addicted to internet porn now, and then after a while, even the internet porn doesn't do it for him, and he starts having sex with his computer. Now, the movie's not terribly graphic. There's a little bit of nudity when he's looking at porn. It's pictures. There's no live actresses naked. There's no penises. There's not even a terrible amount of swearing, but clearly this is still an adult subject matter. He drills a hole in his computer and sometimes lines it with a material and lubricant, and I'll leave the rest to your imagination. This becomes a problem for him. He becomes obsessed, and he's falling apart on the job. He's not coding well, and they've got this big thing going where they have like 30 days in order to change over this major bank's code, or it's going to be the collapse of all civilization, like what happened on Y2K. Anyway, the movie goes on, and he tries to start this new relationship, and he starts doing it to some computers at work, and then there's those problems, and the movie proceeds. The reason I have to comment on this movie, I have to, and I would start yelling this from my balcony if I didn't think it would get me arrested. I just watched a movie where the main character saves the world from the Y2K bug by having sex with a supercomputer. Now, technically what he did was he had a sex with the giant server unit at his work. And that's complicated to say. And you don't want to just say a regular computer, because that's not the point. It's this giant machine with high voltage electricity running through it. It's a giant server. I don't know the technical name for it. They just keep calling it the server. I'm not that big into the hardware side of computers. So you at home know a better name for it, but he has sex with the server. So let me repeat. I just watched a movie where the main character saved the world from the Y2K bug by having sex with a supercomputer. See, moments like this I have to share, because if I had to keep that knowledge just tucked away inside my brain all by its lonesome, I'd go insane. So now I've shared it with all of you. I feel a little bit better. The movie itself, it's okay. The premise, the idea of a man with a sexual relationship with his computer is so... It's a little uncomfortable. And I'm not somebody who's easily made uncomfortable by material like this. It does make me a little uncomfortable. And that does lessen the enjoyment of watching the film. Just, I don't know, I kept worrying that somebody was going to bust in and demand to know what I was watching. And when I told them it was a movie about a man having sex with computers, they'd put me in jail. So, for those of you... I'm not necessarily recommending this film to anybody. It's not a bad film. It's an uncomfortable film, largely because of the premise. It's decent enough. It's well made. The acting's okay. I have no real complaints about it. So, overall quality, 3 out of 5 maybe. I don't think I'll watch it again, though. So, that's all I have. I had to share that, and it didn't fit in a WTF. So... my gift to you. Mwah. Enjoy.